back to the channel. This is the Wordy Woody Show. I am Wordy Woody. Thank you for joining me. I've been wanting to make this video for a little while because I want to show off my bike that I love and tell you guys all about it. I'm on a rare day off. I've been working pretty much back-to-back trips. Since I got back from Black Bike Week, I've been gone nearly every day. So today is one of my first days. I'm home, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. As you can see, got my slides on, got my sweats on, got on a t-shirt, and I'm just home, just doing my thing. I am going out tomorrow on another 3-day trip, so the work never stops. But this is Blackfire, and like I said, he's my guy, my sexy guy, and I've been wanting to show him off. I absolutely love this bike. It's shaping up to be a really perfect bike for me. I love what it can do. I love riding it. It's super fun. As not fully dressed, but fairing motorcycles and Harley Davidsons go, it's a really, really light bike, so it's actually perfect for me. I did not want a heavy, fully dressed motorcycle. I was very adamant and very deliberate about that. So this is actually best of both worlds, and you can make a lot of modifications and accommodations on this bike to make it turn ready. So let me give you a tour of Blackfire. This is Blackfire. Blackfire is a 2025 Harley Davidson Lowrider S. As you can see, it's all black, hence the name Blackfire. So I never rode a Harley Davidson before. This is my first time riding a Harley. This is the third bike that I've owned. This is the first brand new bike that I own. So when I first got this bike, I was initially pretty skeptical about it. I just kind of walked into the dealership and I said, what do you have? This is the bike that they offered me. It was 5 minutes before they closed, so this is the bike that I took, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be the right bike for me, but I was in a position where I needed a new bike, I needed to ride, and here we are. But after logging about 2,500 miles on this bike so far, I definitely do love it. This bike has a lot of really great qualities, and I'm pretty proud of it. I never would have pictured myself being a Harley rider. After all the years I've been riding, I wouldn't call myself an OG Harley hater or anything like that, but because I never owned one, I just never paid attention to them. But like I said, I really do like this bike a lot. It's a great bike. It has a couple little things about it that I think would be better suited for me, but I'm trying to turn it into a touring motorcycle, kind of like a mini bagger, if you will. And I've made some upgrades to it that have been working out really, really well for me. So let's check it out. So the very, very first thing I did upgrade-wise to this bike is I changed out the handlebars. The stock handlebars were really, really hard. It felt like holding, honestly, like a piece of steel in your hand, and they were just super duper uncomfortable. I probably changed those within the first week of buying the bike. These are just kind of like some Kiriaki knockoffs that I got off of Revzilla. I think they were like 60 bucks. They're pretty comfortable. They were working out really, really well for me. I also added this little port here to keep the Bluetooth remote for the heated gear, so it's easily accessible. I do have the controller that the heated gear comes with, but I don't like to mess around with it when I'm on the bike, so you just put that there and just twist the knobs and you get your heated gear together. The other thing that I did is I had my riding partner Trini add a port here to plug into heated gear. Typically on, I think, most Harley models, you're going to be using this little this little doodad down here to plug in the heated gear. For me, it was causing everything to like flop against the tank, and it was on the side of my leg, and I really didn't like it. So he was able to reconnect it right here. So it's right there and it's convenient for you. The other thing that I did was I added this quad lock here. It keeps your phone nice and stabilized so you don't ruin your camera. Really good for navigation. Again, this is a basic upgrade that a lot of people do, but it's got to be one of like the top 3 things I should say people should do for their motorcycles. It just keeps everything convenient, keeps your phone from being damaged, and it has this little charger in the back, so you never have to worry about your phone running out of battery. So I don't know if this would be considered an upgrade per se, but this is a Bluetooth remote that I bought off Etsy. It was only $30, and I bought this because I really hate fiddling around with the controls on my Cardo when I have it on my headset. So this is right there. You can see it works really, really well. It holds a charge for a really long time, and it's just like 3D printed plastic, I think. But this little thing is like, it's a small little inconsequential thing, but I really, really like it. So to me, it is an upgrade. I do wish this bike had some sort of infotainment system, but until they decide to accommodate that, you know, we do what we must do. So another big thing for me has been able to have saddlebags on a bike. I've never owned a motorcycle that had any sort of storage built in, and that's really important when you're out on the road. So when I saw an opportunity, I knew immediately I was going to get bags. In the past, I always had to jerry rig all of my bags on the bike using a combination of bungees, rock straps, zip ties, etc., and it's always been really annoying. I even one time had a bag fall over onto my pipe, which damaged my pipe. I had a chrome pipe with my last bike, and you know, all of that is just really annoying, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So there weren't a lot of bags available for this bike that I liked the look of, so I ended up going with the OEM bags. They were reasonably priced, I suppose, for what they are. I really don't love the fact that they're clamshell, but they do get the job done, and they're pretty big. You can get a lot of stuff in them, so you just have to get some bag liners. Otherwise, your things are kind of jumbling around in there. I did see after I bought these bags that shortly after, Avon Black made some top-loaded bags, so that kind of annoyed me because I really would have preferred the top-loading bags, but, you know, it is what it is. If you've owned a bike before that didn't have storage, you know how annoying and stressful it can be because you never know if your things are going to fall over. I also went ahead and bought this luggage rack combination sissy bar. This has been really nice also, just having an extra anchor point to put bags on and other items. You could fit all sorts of bags. I have 2 giant Kuryakin bags and they fit perfectly on this setup right here. So this is kind of like a throwaway upgrade that somebody might do. But again, when you're used to not having storage on your bike, something like this really matters. I really like that this bike has a ton of anchor points on it too, because you can use the hardware where the bag is for anchor points. You can use behind here on the rear view lights, and then, you know, do that in combination with everything. Also, the way that these saddlebags fit on the bike, when you put a bag back there on the fender, it doesn't really touch the fender. It kind of floats on top of the bag. So it's not the best, but it works for what you need to do. When I get my new seat, I'm probably just going to go ahead on and get a 2-up seat just to make that setup a little bit safer. And also, this is an upgrade for me too. My Hello Kitties, they go everywhere that I go. Everybody who knows me knows that I am a Hello Kitty fanatic and aficionado. I've been collecting Hello Kitty items my whole life. So of course I had to incorporate them into my bike. Now, the main upgrade that I have done on this bike, which I absolutely love, is putting this ST fairing on it that I got from Avon Black. So again, not cheap, but the wind deflection has been absolutely incredible. I took this bike out for a ride down to the Jersey Shore a couple of months ago, just trying to see what it could do at highway speeds. And the wind was tearing my ass up, y'all. It really was. And I knew I was riding to Bike Week in Myrtle Beach, and I said, there's absolutely no way that I can ride a lot of highway miles and have that wind beating me up. A lot of buffeting on the head and your neck and your chest area, and it was just really impossible, like once you got above 70 miles per hour. So I went ahead and bit the bullet, cried once by once, and I bought this fairing. My homeboy put it on for me, and it's been absolutely amazing. I was super comfortable on my ride to Myrtle Beach, absolutely no complaints, no issues whatsoever.
And last but not least, y'all, I added these Hello Kitty valve caps. This is probably gonna be silly to some people, but fuck those people, I don't care. It's cute to me. As I told you guys before, I always have something Hello Kitty on my bike. It just adds a little personalization and some whimsy. I think people always think that bikers are hard cases, but not always. Some of us are girls. Here they go. I found these online. It's a company in New Zealand that makes them. They have like hundreds of different designs of valve caps. So of course, the algorithm's always listening. So probably because I was searching Hello Kitty stuff, or I went to the Hello Kitty Museum in in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, the algo showed me these and I snapped them up right away. This is the best $20 I've ever spent. Aren't they cute?
Oh, here comes my daddy, y'all, coming home from work. I live with my parents, so he's waiting for me to move my bike. Say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
This is my daddy, y'all. My dad is retired and living his best life, but he substitute teaches because he loves teaching. He loves kids, so he just pulled up. I just let him know that I have a YouTube channel. He said, what are you putting on your YouTube channel? So the YouTube channel, Dad, is mostly motorcycle content, amongst other little things. So I was just introducing the audience to my bike. My father and my mother are... Yeah, we're going to talk about that. My mom and my dad are very annoyed that I've chosen to ride a motorcycle, but it is what it is. But also my dad helps me with my bike when he can, and sometimes helps me purchase little creature comforts for the bike. So secretly he loves it because he loves me.
So you go to Amazon, you type in Mario, my son. It loads. This is what comes up.
So I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are fans of Jack Daniels. My dad worked for the company that distributed Jack Daniels for like 30 years? And how many years were you there? Okay, so he's written a memoir about his experiences there and what it was like being a black man working in a good old boys network. And the book is something, y'all. He has, there's some tea in there. He has some experiences there. So go ahead on and check out that book. You can buy that on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle, or you can buy a hard copy. We appreciate you. Yep. What's the name of the book?
Inside Jack, My Life as a Professional Salesman. Part 1.
So there's going to be a couple of parts. Yep.
Gotta go.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye. You got your red bike.
Uh-huh.
Put that, and then onto this one. That's a progression from nothing to...
Well, I have that picture that you have from me also when I was the baby on the bike. I don't know whose motorcycle that was. If that was a motorcycle you had when you were younger, or whose.
I didn't have my motorcycle long enough for you to get off. So my motorcycle lasted like 2 weeks.
Okay, there's that picture of me on somebody's bike, and I was just like, oh, look at that. It was written.
I bought it and sold it as fast as you can sell it both.
Oh, Lord, Daddy.
You did. I could 750. Almost got wasted in gravel.
This is Mika. She's out here making the video. Mika's nosy. It's my little French bulldog. I think Mika likes motorcycles because she doesn't really bark when I turn it on or when I'm moving it around. So that's Miss Mika. Miss Mika Michelle. Say hi, Mika. All right. So like I said, you guys, I showed you some of the things that I've done with the bike so far. There's still quite a few things that I want to do in the future. Obviously, when you're upgrading your motorcycle, it is an expense, but let's be honest, when you start getting older, you're in a different place. Hopefully financially we could afford to do things. I'm in a season of my life where I've decided to take money that I have and invest it into my bike. There's a lot of miles that I want to do. There's a lot of trips that I want to take, and I really need my bike to be comfortable. The other bikes that I owned in the past, I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, in my mind, they might have just been placeholders because I never really wanted to invest the money. And those bikes were really old bikes as well. So it didn't really make sense to keep upgrading them and changing them and doing all these things for a bike that possibly wasn't mechanically sound. This is the first brand new bike that I've ever owned. So I have an opportunity here to really do the utmost and to do the most with this bike. And I plan on doing that. I work very hard for a living. I work a lot of hours at my job. I am a flight attendant, and I fly a lot, and I do that not only so I could take care of my family, but also so I could do fun things that I want to do. And one of those fun things is personalizing my motorcycle for me. Also, you're kind of missing out if you own a Harley and you don't take the time to personalize it and make it yours. That's kind of what it's all about, and that's one thing that I really love about being a part of this community. There's so many things you can do, and people are so creative with their bikes. I don't know how creative I am with my bike, but there's definitely comfort changes that I want to make first. So we're going to focus on the comfort first, and then we're going to get into the aesthetics of the bike. So comfort first, aesthetics, and cool factor later. Although, quite frankly, I already think this bike is pretty cool, but I guess that's because of my bike. So yeah, that's our little tour of Blackfire. Like I said, I'm just trying to do the best I can to make this bike more comfortable so it could be a nice little tour. I know a lot of people feel like this is an entry-level bike that once you ride this bike for a couple years, you're automatically going to move up to a road glide or a street glide, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I've always kind of pushed back on having a heavier motorcycle. My VTX 1300, my Honda, was super duper heavy. It did have a great low center of gravity, but it was really heavy. And a bigger, heavier bike with more weight, I just don't think that's for me. So I'm just going to continue to do the best I can with this motorcycle. Oh, here's another person. Here is my daughter, Miss January Jones.
Camera.
Yes, you're on camera. Jeez. This is my baby girl. She's getting ready
Hello,
to.
YouTube.
She's getting ready to go away for college soon. She is a dancer. She's also she goes to a vocational high school. She majors in sports medicine, so she's getting ready to go to my alma mater, to Rutgers University, and I know she's going to make all of us proud. She's an amazing dancer, really incredible, and all around lovely, nice person. And she has expressed at some point in time possibly wanting to ride. We got to get her driving in a car first. And then we're going to talk about riding.
Not possibly, yes.
So I would love one day to be able to take a road trip with her. We love traveling together and spending time together. And she's a great kid. All right, back to the video. So yeah, I feel like this bike used to be, it wasn't, I don't think Harley had intentions or knew that this platform was going to be like a really popular bike for them. I know it's one of their best selling bikes. I know, I'm still learning the history of this bike. I know it used to be on a Dyna platform before, and then they switched to Softail, I think in 2017. And a lot of people on YouTube actually do tour on this bike. So it's not unheard of to do touring on this bike, you know, to put bags on it, to put fairings on it, to put tour packs on it, and do a lot of upgrades that make it comfortable. So for me right now, I mean, probably can't listen to me because I said that I would not ride a Harley Davidson, and here we are. So I don't know what the future is going to hold. I might end up getting a bigger bike, but for right now, I'm really enjoying this bike. It's a really good weight, and it does what I need to do. I also like the fact that it's super nimble, and it's really fast. It has a lot of power, and I've probably only unleashed 10% of what this bike could do. So I think that you know, I'm really happy with it, and I want to just keep riding it and see, you know, where it takes me and where it's going to go. This bike is perfectly capable of keeping up with bigger bikes. It's perfectly capable of going the distance. And overall, I think Harley like really hit it out the park with this bike. I don't think that they thought that this was going to turn into a touring motorcycle for people. But like I said, there's several of us out in the world who are using this bike exactly for that. And, you know, it's a great bike. So I got what I wanted with this bike. I'm able to keep up. I'm able to be comfortable. I'm able to go fast. I'm just able to do everything I want to do. So let's get into some of the things that I plan on doing in the future to make this into the mini bagger that I want. So the next thing that I plan on doing to this bike to make it more comfortable is getting a new seat. I'm still running the stock seat on this, and this seat is okay. As you can see, it does have some lumbar support. It's pretty wide. It was all right, but by the time I got to probably about the 400th mile on the way to Myrtle, my bottom really started hurting. My back was okay, and my upper back was okay, but I still think I need a more comfortable seat, a seat with a little bit more cushion, and something definitely, absolutely with a backrest. My Honda had a backrest, and that backrest is a game changer. So I really need to go ahead and get that put on there. Unfortunately, Harley does not have stock seats that come with backrests for this motorcycle. So you have to look at aftermarket parts. I did find a seat that I want. It's a Corbin seat, and you know how Corbin is. If you know, you know. So I do have to get my coins up for that. I expect to have my seat on no later than probably the start of the winter. If not, I'll definitely have it by the time the next riding season pops up. The other thing I plan on doing is getting a tour pack. I'm trying to decide between the Razor tour pack and the Chop tour pack. I think the Razor is going to end up being a better choice for me simply because it's not going to change the aesthetics of the bike. Anything bigger than that is probably going to look unbalanced and a little weird, and I think it's also going to make the bike more top heavy, and it's going to affect the handling of the bike in corners and in tight spaces. So I really need to think about that before I decide which one I'm going to purchase. Of course, I would like to fit my modular helmet inside of the tour pack, but that might not be a thing. And I'm not willing to get the Grand tour pack because it's just too big and bulbous, and it's going to look ridiculous on this bike. So that's something I have to think about. Even though I was annoyed that now the top loading bags are available from Avon Black, I'm just going to continue to rock these clamshells. I think it's going to be too much of a hassle to try to sell them and buy new bags. And you know, honestly, they're doing what they're intended to do. So I think that they're fine. The other thing that I'm going to do is definitely get some floorboards. I need some place to rest my feet. It's taken me a long time to get used to the positioning with this bike because I always felt like I was going to accidentally like mash the brake or something. I don't like rear controls, so I'm not going to be getting those, but I'm definitely going to be getting forward controls. My knee was screaming at about the 450th mile point on the way to Myrtle Beach, just from being in that right angle position for too long. And I know a lot of people like the aggressive stance on this bike and the mid controls, but for me personally, what I'm using it for, I think forward controls work best for me. So as always with any bike, you know, your use case matters. And for me, it's going to be for touring and doing miles. So I need to be able to stretch my legs out. And also the floorboards are going to help me with that comfort as well. I'm also looking into changing out the breather. I do like the snorkel, but I feel like sometimes it gets in the way. That's not necessarily my aesthetic. It sticks out kind of far from me. I know it has a purpose and what it does, but if I can get something else that maybe has a flatter, cleaner profile, I'm definitely probably going to do that. Um, Probably going to change out the mirrors as well. That will be an aesthetic choice. So that's not necessarily something that I have to do right away. Another big thing for this bike, and probably for all Harleys, is going to be the heat deflectors. I didn't even know those were a thing until a friend of mine told me, because as y'all know, I am new to Harley Davidson. So this engine gets extremely hot. I thought my VTX 1300 got really hot. This thing is hot. So something has to give with that. So I'm definitely going to look into those. That's probably an upgrade that's not that expensive. I was thinking about getting lowers just for some extra protection, but honestly, I'm not sure how those are going to look. So this bike, like I said before, it does have real estate for you to add things to it and do it, but you want to be careful with what you do because you don't want to just make the bike look weird and just ungainly with adding things to it. It does have a nice, sleek, clean look, and I do want to keep that up. So I'm unsure about the lowers, and also they're super expensive. So I really don't know if that's something that I'm going to do, but I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely going to get some windshield, the wind protectors here for my hands. I have Raynos, and my hands and my toes get really, really cold. So as much help as I can get to keep the wind off of me, the better. So I'm going to be looking to those as well. And I'm probably going to get a windscreen that's a little bit higher. I do have some buffeting and some wind that's still hitting me around my collarbone area. It's definitely manageable. It's not terrible, but you know, the more wind protection, the better. So that is Blackfire. I hope you guys love him and like him as much as I do. As I was saying before, there are some things that I'm going to do to make the bike more comfortable for myself. One thing that I've really been loving with being a member of the Harley Davidson community is just all of the cool, fantastic things you could do with these bikes. I mean, there's so many aftermarket parts, so many things you could buy, and it's really, really easy, expensive, but really, really easy to personalize these bikes and make them perfect for you. I'm not really sure what Harley intended when they designed and marketed and started selling this bike. I don't know if they intended for people to upgrade them and use them as touring motorcycles, but it really is the perfect platform to do that because you can add things to them and it doesn't really change the center of gravity. It doesn't really throw the bike off balance, and you know, it can end up being really nice. So I think for riders perhaps who maybe are smaller, riders that, you know, don't want to push and ride big, heavy, you know, nearly 9,000, nearly 1,000 pound machines, this is like a perfect way to get what you want and to meet in the middle and still get the power that you want and still have enough real estate on the bike to be able to add things to it. I mean, this bike does have plenty of real estate with it, you know, adding bags, adding a tour pack, changing out the seat, adding a fairing, changing up the handlebars, you know, putting pegs on it and different things like that. You know, it's really a versatile motorcycle and it's really a well-built and well-made machine, and I love it. So thank you guys for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Wordy Witty, and thank you for enjoying a time well wasted. I'll see you in the next video.